Hey, this is Evan from Octane Electrons. I'm going to do a video here comparing some of the different scanners that I've reviewed in the past, and we'll take a look at the features and why you might want one or the other. All right, first up is the Launch C-Reader Elite for Ford applications. This is a great value scanner. It has touchscreen, Wi-Fi capability, software updates, a store to add extra software applications, and it supports special maintenance functions for Ford. So it's a great step above a basic OBD reader and excellent for Ford vehicles. Next, we're going to take a look at the Kingbolen S500 OBD2 scanner. This thing's pretty awesome. It has a nice full color, large touchscreen, nice plastic housing with rubber ends to make it kind of grippy. It has Wi-Fi, software updates, special maintenance functions for a variety of vehicles, as well as live graphing, freeze frame data, all sorts of stuff. So pretty fully featured scanner that is not tied to one particular brand. Then we'll look at the Kingbolen Ediag Plus. This is a wireless Bluetooth OBD scanner that works with your iPhone or Android phone. So it has an app and requires a device to use as your interface. But it has the remote plug-in device that talks to your phone. So it then supports all sorts of stuff, software updates and code lookup on the internet, some maintenance functions. So it's a really nice portable Bluetooth scanner that lets you work remotely. Definitely check this one out. Then we're going to look at the Innova 5610. This is a really full-featured scanner that plugs right into the vehicle. It has a great color screen. What's really cool is it supports a remote app on your phone, so it can talk to your phone over Bluetooth and give you even more maintenance functions. So this one's really excellent. Okay, then we're going to look at the Launch CRP919 EBT. This is a large Android tablet scanner that has wireless access to its interface for the vehicle. Comes with charging cable, vehicle OBD cable, everything you need to plug it in and work. Has Wi-Fi, Android updates. You can use it just like an Android tablet with any apps or anything you'd like. But it's a fully featured scanner. Has built-in software updates, bi-directional control, maintenance features. It's the type of tool you'd use at a shop or like you're doing some pretty in-depth car repair. So you definitely want to take a look at the video for this that goes more in depth because it is a really excellent scanner. Okay, and then we're going to look at the Launch X431 Pro 3S Plus Elite. This is the new 2024 edition. Android tablet, fully featured, fully functional bidirectional scan tool. This thing is killer. So make sure you watch the full video with the testing of all this. It has every function you can imagine, and it can also support tons of add-ons from launch, like an oscilloscope and different meters and stuff. So it's a very interesting tool. Has software updates and store to add extra car vehicle type support, as well as every maintenance function you could ever need. Does ECU coding, key programming with some of the add-on hardware, but very full-featured scanner. So this is the one top of the line, the best scanner I have looked at so far, and definitely one you want to check out.
Hey, this is Evan from Octane Electrons. We're going to do a video on the C-Reader, well, the Launch brand C-Reader Elite USA Ford model. And this is supposed to do a lot of cool stuff, so we'll take a look at it. Let's see what they put on the box. OBD2 compatible, MAL, I don't know what that means, maybe download software updates, graphing, reports, trouble codes, feedback, multi-language, and upgrade. So yeah, we'll look at everything that it does. It's a tablet style scanner with a cord built in. Specifications. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what it looks like. Okay, set the box aside. We have a manual in there. I usually don't take a look at those. I plug it in and see how it works. Let's move those aside. Got a USB cable. And we have OBD2 cable, which is a permanent part of the unit. And looks nice. Good kind of rubberized case, which I always like. and I was wondering with the cable, the USB cable, if maybe it had a battery and you could turn it on otherwise without being plugged into the car, but I suppose not. Looks like it has an SD card and the USB port. So, really cool. Okay, we'll get it plugged into the car and start checking it out. Okay, so we're here in my truck, a 2007 F-150 with the 5.4 motor. I have plugged in the C reader and it starts up to this screen here. So welcome, and let's get started. Start. Select language, English. Need to connect to a network. One sec. Connect to my phone. Okay. Connected to my phone hotspot. Yeah, I don't know what view code is. Gives you a QR code. Okay, workshop info. I'm not going to enter any. Don't need my name or anything in there. Okay, user agreement. Can I agree to all terms? Okay. All right, great. Let's go ahead and hit upgrade and make sure we have all the updates installed. Okay. Looks like they're all selected. I'm going to hit update. And we'll see. If this takes a while, I'll stop and restart the video. Okay, so let's wait a minute. I'll come back as soon as these are done. Okay, just completed the update. Took a little bit to get them downloaded and installed, and then it updated all the system software, so we're all good. So we can go back to upgrade and see if there's anything new. Oh, there's still one more update now. Let's try that and see if this one goes quickly. Okay, great. Okay, 0 upgradable software. Okay, great. All right, so fully up to date. Let's see what's in settings. Unit of measure. I always like using imperial. Okay, brightness, sound, network, time zone, workshop info, recovery, cleanup, screen capture. Okay, so we don't need to do any of that stuff. Let's look at data, see what it says. Okay, diagnostic records. All right, we'll come back to that in a minute. I was looking at mall. So this is where you can download more software and features, it looks like, for the unit. ABS bleeding, adaptive front lighting. Let's see what this says. Vehicle coverage. So you can add other vehicles to it and different features, it looks like. This one's set up for Ford already out of the box, but it looks like you can add quite a bit. Coolant bleed. For Acura, Honda, and Volvo. So that's interesting. It's totally upgradable to add functions, other make scanning for other makes, and then special functions. So that's very cool. Okay, we're not going to do any of that though, because I just have the Ford here to check out with it. Let's start up here with diagnose. All right, we're going to do auto detect. Oh, I'm gonna turn my key on. I did not do that. There we go. Ford USA. Diagnostics for USA Ford. Let's check that. Oh, no, maybe it needs to be the other Ford. Yep, 2007. Okay. Now, I never have any codes to show here. This truck is low miles and in great shape and doesn't have any codes, just passed emissions again. So we're not going to get any error codes, but we can go through everything and take a look. Health reports, 4x4, no fault, ABS, driver seat, instrument cluster, parking aid. Okay, very cool. Puts together a health report on the vehicle. That's great. PCM abnormal. Fuel pump secondary circuit, fuel pump driver module. Interesting. Continuous DTC. All right, well, we'll look at that. I've never seen that one before. And share. Send to the mailbox. Cool, so we can send an email of it. Okay, that's great. All right, so we're gonna go back to the main menu. Okay, so let's hit OBD2. This should give us control of all the functions. The diagnose builds the report for you, which is awesome. But let's see what we can do directly in the menu. VIN, check engine status off, no trouble codes. 7 readiness monitors, some are not supported. Okay, no problem. Let's hit enter. Okay, show menu. Let's see. Let's look at our readiness. Okay, we can see all of the monitors there. Let's go back. Let's see. Onboard monitor test. Everything's okay. Okay, let's go back. Read fault code, no fault codes. Yeah, so I think that I put a new fuel pump driver module in this truck, which does fail sometimes on these. I replaced it. It had not failed, but I replaced it to be safe. And I do wonder if maybe that was an old stored code or something. So I'm not real worried about that. Let's look at live data module. Throttle position and air temp. Cool. So we can build a list of all the different PIDs we want to monitor and get them on the same screen. That's always very cool. Nice, and you can record and build a report of them. Very useful. Control of onboard systems. Let's see here. Oops, that's onboard monitor. Go back. Control of onboard components. Okay, that runs a leak test. Okay. Interesting. So we have a lot of options here. Let it scan all the protocols. Oh, okay, I see. So it stopped at the first match that it found. We already know. We don't need to do that. Oh, okay. It's going to run through all of them. It's the first one, so it doesn't need all these, but... see if we can cancel it. Okay, let's go to data. Diagnostic record. Nothing in there. Reports. There's the one we generated, so that's great. DTC library. You can type in a code and see what it is for. DLC tells you where to find your data connector. Okay, we don't need the rest of the stuff. Okay, let's go back to OBD2. Okay, enter. So everything you want to control yourself would be done from this screen, it looks like. All the vehicle info, distance traveled, that kind of stuff. We already did an onboard monitoring test. We don't need to clear any codes. We can try read fault code. Yeah, there's none. Read freeze frame, we haven't stored any. Read IM readiness. Ready status of current driving period. Tells you status of everything. Okay. Okay, so cool. So it's a pretty full-featured, nice scan tool. I like the Android app, and the interface is good. It's a well-built tool, good rubber cover, nice color touchscreen. It's fast, which I like. It responds right away when you push a button, so I always like that. Doesn't seem to do full bidirectional controls, but I don't think it was advertised that way. Maybe you can purchase them in the mall to add features like that, but out of the box it doesn't seem to do that. But it's a really nice touchscreen scanner that will read codes and do live data. So I think that's always important and useful for troubleshooting. And clearly it's hugely expandable for other makes and features. So I think that's a huge strength. For my Ford, does everything I would expect. My old 2007 Ford doesn't support a ton of advanced maintenance features and stuff, so no big deal on this. But yeah, overall good scanner, well made, easy to use, great screen and interface. I like the Wi-Fi support, so you can update it. So yeah, I'd say this is a good one. It's easy to use and works well. So right on. Hope this is Evan from Octane Electrons. Today we're going to look at the Kingbolen S500 OBD2 scanner. So this is a really nice scan tool. It has a nice plastic housing, rubberized case, has bright touchscreen, which is awesome. It's an Android tablet with Wi-Fi, has online Wi-Fi updating, power button right there. We have the OBD2, a serial OBD2 cable, and then we have a USB charging port inside for the internal battery and an SD card slot. So it's easy to use. Like I said, it's touchscreen, also has hardware buttons, directions, okay, and back, so very simple to use. So let's go plug it into the truck. We're going to test on my my 2007 F-150, and we'll check out the features. Comes in a nice box. Comes with a USB charging cable and user manual. So everything you need. I've already charged it up a couple days ago, but its battery's fine. And then I've already connected it to Wi-Fi and ran the software updates. So from the update screen, you'll be able to update all the software packages as well as the app system software itself. So when you get it, make sure you go through and run the updates, connect it to your Wi-Fi, and do that. It's really easy to do. But it does take a while, so I didn't film it because the update can take a decent amount of time to update all the software packages. Okay, so let me go in here, unplug my gauge tool that I use, plug this in. Okay, let's get in here and take a look. So my truck's a 2007 F-150. It has about 40,000 miles on it, and it's in good shape and no check engine lights or anything. So turn stuff off here. So we're not going to see any codes or anything. I already know that, but it works great to demo stuff. Okay, cool. So here we are at the main menu. So we'll look at this stuff real quick. Roll down the windows. Okay, so we already looked at the update screen. Once you connect to the Wi-Fi, you can run your update. I don't need to, it's already up to date. Repair info is cool. I like when you're connected to the OBD port, it will show you your battery voltage for the car, so that's great. Okay, OBD fault code library. This is cool because we can enter a code. P0012 is a common one, I think. And look it up from its internal library. So that's camshaft position sensor code. So that's cool. You can also hit the little Google button here. Oh, that's right, I'm not connected to the Wi-Fi. If you hit that, it'll Google it for you and look up results online. Let's go back. Coverage list. Yeah, when we're online, you'll be able to see vehicles that this will apply to. You can look up videos, and learning will pull up some web pages of info that they have. Settings will show us the number of the serial number, I think, of the scanner, and then various settings, which we don't really need to change here. But again, easy to use. The touchscreen's awesome. It's like super responsive. The hardware buttons are nice too. You can see they will go through and select things. But I like the touchscreen. Okay, let's start with OBD. So it should go out, try different common protocols to connect to the car's computer, and let us know when we're in. Okay, cool. So it has our VIN number, MIL, or the check engine light is off, no trouble codes stored, readiness monitors are set for emissions testing. There's none that are not set, 4 that are not supported by this vehicle, 47 data stream items. Those are different like sensors or items that we can display to look at, spark ignition, and the protocol it connected with. So if we hit enter over here, now we can get into the menu to see the different OBD functions we can do. Read IM readiness, we can hit that and we can look and see if the monitors are set, which we already know they are, for emissions testing. Read live data is great. This is always useful, especially if you're troubleshooting something. You can select the items you want to monitor. So there's airflow, barometric pressure, ambient air temp, and we can hit OK, and then get a screen of just those items we want to monitor. So especially if you're trying to like troubleshoot something, could be really useful, like, I don't know, spark advance versus throttle position or something. And then you can also hit the little graph screen to get a graph of that particular item. I think that's great. Ambient air temp. So that's very cool. It can be very useful trying to troubleshoot history of something. Let's see what else we can do. We can hit record, and I think that'll record the values live. Enter the file name. Okay, so we've saved a recording of that. Can also hit report, and we can generate a diagnostic report for the vehicle. So that's pretty cool. And hit PDF button to save a copy of it. Cool. So there's our PDF copy of the entire diagnostic report for the vehicle from the sensors that we selected. So, you know, you can generate this for exactly what you want to see. So let's go back further. Okay, read freeze frame. We don't have any. Read fault codes. We already know there's no fault codes on this car right now. We don't have any to clear. Onboard monitoring test. Checks all the monitors for emissions testing and tells you if they're okay or not. And let's see, control operation of onboard component or system. Looks like that triggers evaporative system leak test, okay? And read vehicle info. Should show us VIN, calibration codes for the ECU. Okay, and let's go back. EU, probably not supported by my truck here. Okay, we're gonna go back to the main menu now. Yes. The other thing I noticed that's great is it seems to charge the internal battery when you're plugged into the OBD2 cable, so that's excellent. Let's go into diagnostics now. So we could select our manufacturer and go in that way, or we can hit auto search and let it detect from the VIN number, which is a lot easier. It said connect to Wi-Fi for better diagnosis. Okay, USA Ford 2007 F-150, that is correct. My ignition is on. Okay, cool. Let's see, let's generate the health report. ABS good, powertrain good, restraint module good. Should be able to hit report, generate a report of that for the vehicle. Okay. And we can enter each of those modules from here. So we can read the data from it, clear faults in that module, read faults in the module, and see the module info. So it's not bidirectional. There should be no fault codes, but it's not bidirectional. It won't let us activate things, but it lets us go in and view specific things for each module, which is nice. Let's see what the data stream for the power control module says. Cool, so that shows us all the values. Accelerator pedal position, and what's another one? Here, air conditioning clutch. Okay, let's look at those values. So there, if I'm pressing my gas pedal, full pedal, part pedal, no pedal. Right on. Okay, cool. So diagnostic mode's easy to use, especially with the auto VIN search, and it scans to see what your vehicle supports, so that's excellent and easy. Let's take a look at maintenance. Supported software, ABS, supplemental restraint system, ECM, engine and traction control, I think. And then brake, ETS is your throttle position, I think. Relearn, oil maintenance, and then steering angle sensor. This truck doesn't support any of these except for ABS service bleed, which we definitely don't need a trigger here, but let's see. Brake, I don't think this will do anything here because this doesn't have, I think it's electric parking brake reset, which this truck won't support since it's a manual parking brake. Yeah, so I think we'll get an error there. Yeah, so it didn't detect anything. It's okay, I already know this truck doesn't support it. So these special maintenance features are not supported by my truck. We can't really demo these, but if your vehicle has them, they're all supported here. And so cool, that's all the features. It's easy to use. It's really intuitive menu, nice touchscreen, like I said. And I love that it can generate these reports for you. So we can go in here and look at them. Like, let's go check out. Should show us the report files that were generated. All right, let it find the vehicle. Cool, then we're back into the vehicle settings. Let's go back to the home menu. Look at those again. Here's the reports. Oh, okay, sorry. I think I misread that. This looks like it'll set up a quick login to the vehicles that you've used before. Reports, here are the reports we generated. There's the data stream with the items we checked, and then the full vehicle health report. This will show the PDF files we generated, the data stream report, and then other files. So cool. I like that it has a file browser built in. That's nice. And the ability to get those reports generated right on the unit and get a PDF file. If you're connected to the Wi-Fi, you can just email to yourself. So it's really useful, very easy to use. So right now, that's the Kingbolen S500. It's a great scanner, easy to use, nice package, good size, good screen, good buttons. So I like it. great tool. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. Check it out. This is Evan with
watching.
Octane and Electrons. Today we're going to take a look at the Kingbolen Ediag Plus. So you can see the box here. The unit is a Bluetooth remote unit that will work with an Android or iPhone app. So you can see the box comes with this nice case. I love it when they come with cases. It makes it much easier to have multiple of these. Unit and the cable fits in there, and then you have your instruction manual. We're going to go over and look. I have it plugged in here already. My ignition turned on my 2024 Jeep Gladiator. So you can see here, Ediag Plus. It's got the serial number on it, and LEDs for power, vehicle connection, and then communication. So you can see it's got lights on both sides. It's a nice size and plugs in right there. Since it's wireless, we don't need to sit in the car. I have my ignition turned on. So you will need to install, I'm using another phone here, the Ediag app. So I have it installed and turned on here. Started up on the phone. Okay, so when you first connect it, you need to make sure you log into an account. So you can go to the little account icon there. You need to log into your account, either create one, or I already have an account with these guys, and I've used lots of their devices, so I can log in, and then you can hit plus up here, and then you'll be able to add your unit. So it'll ask you for your serial number and your activation code, and they'll be on a paper right here that comes in the box. So make sure you have that with the sticker on it. You'll need that to enter, and then it'll be able to find your unit. No problem. Okay, so now the other thing you can do is go to, once you're logged in and knowing which unit you have, you can go to the store section. You can see all the software. It includes lots of generic maintenance software for all these features: TPMS, steering angle, oil, injectors, EGR, brake, ABS bleed, so lots of stuff. And then all your vehicle specific connections, or sorry, software to talk to these various types of vehicles. So they're already included on here. If you connect to that type of vehicle, it may need to update them. So for instance, when I just connected it to test onto my Jeep, it did need to do an upgrade for the Jeep software, but it just took a second. So I'm here at the main screen. We can take a look at what options we have here. So problem with my Jeep, these newer Jeep and Chrysler vehicles use what's called a SGW, security gateway, and you have to have a auto auth account that lets you unlock it for maintenance functions. I don't have one because it's a brand new car. I don't need to do any work on it. So we can view stuff, but I can't do bidirectional control on it, which is fine, I think, for demo purposes. So let's look at some of the features we have here. We'll look at OBD functions. You'll see it says Bluetooth connection. It goes out and talks to the unit in the car and connects. And let's let it start up here. This can take a minute, especially with a newer vehicle like this, to talk to the security gateway, and usually there's a pop-up saying you can't unlock it without an account, so that's okay. Okay, maybe at the basic OBD function level it won't tell us that. So it detected the VIN number, check engine lights off, no trouble codes, readiness monitors are all set, some are not supported. Lots of data stream items are supported, spark ignition, and what protocol. We can have it scan using other protocols, but we don't need to do that. So we'll hit enter. So here's our basic OBD functions. We can read the readiness for emissions. We'll look at readiness of current driving period. Tells us which ones are supported or not complete. We can generate reports out of that. We can go into live data mode and look at, I don't know, let's check a couple of these. So we can check various items we want to display, look at throttle position, ambient air temp, whatever we selected, and then combine. No, okay, so combine will let us check them all and put them into a graph view, which is really nice. Useful, easy to use. You can also hit a shortcut there to just graph one item. And we can make a report, which will generate a diagnostic report of those items to save on the app that you can export as a PDF file. Super cool. And you can also record them to play back later. So that's pretty awesome. Okay, I'm going to go back. So data stream right there, having it in the app is pretty great. Oh, I went back too far. Let it reconnect. Okay, so freeze frame, we don't have any freeze frame data, I don't think. Yeah, so it won't let us view that. We can clear codes. There are no codes. I don't need to do that. Test results for O2 sensors, onboard monitoring, control of onboard components. I don't think I can do any of that without this unlocked. So, and then we can view vehicle information. Okay, all pretty basic functions for a typical OBD scanner. Let's look at maintenance functions and see what stuff it supports. AFS, I'm not sure what that is. Something to do with automatic lights, I suppose. ABS bleed, battery monitor. I don't know what box is. Brake, DPF, immobilizer, EGR, ETS, throttle sensor, I suppose. Steering angle, oil, injectors. Sun, I don't know. SUS and TPMS. I don't know what a lot of these are. But I don't know. Let's hit download. Looks like it'll add that functionality to the software. Let's see what it says. Now we should be able to open that special maintenance function. So might as well add all those to the app right away if it's stuff you know you're going to use. Nothing we're going to test here, but we can look at the function. See if it connects. Function introduction describes what it'll do. ABS service bleed. Cool. So I'm not going to go through it, but we could select our vehicle and go through all of that to use it. And we have those modules available for all sorts of special maintenance functions. So very cool, very easy to use. Let's go back to all system diagnosis, and we're going to hit VIN decoding and let it automatically determine our vehicle. From there, should be able to connect, find our VIN number, and then it will log into the vehicle. And I think we will see an error about the security gateway because it should not be able to do much. It's going to say we can see read-only data, or only read data. Okay, detected Jeep Gladiator. Okay, check if there's any others connected. No. Okay, keep your connection. Okay, VIN number, yes. Should tell us, equipped with a SGW security gateway, do you want to log in with an AutoAuth account? No, I don't have one. So it's going to say, failed to unlock, you can only read stuff. Okay, no problem, I know that. Okay, cool. So now we're in. Let's look at the health report. Look at all trouble code types. Have it generate a health report for the vehicle. We already know on this thing with 1,000 miles it doesn't have any codes, but let's see what it comes up with. Oh, I saw something. Body control module. Okay. Should generate a report for us now, and we could even save that as a PDF file to send to somebody or view later or whatever. So it's pretty useful with this software. Okay, so there's our report, all our normal items, a couple abnormal, radio, body control module. So, see if we can go into them, but I'm not concerned about whatever it might say. Accessory power inverter switch stuck. Okay, I did leave that on one time for my power inverter, so I guess I'm not too surprised by that. that there's a historical code for that. Okay, I'm gonna wait a minute to back out of it. So this part can take a minute sometimes, but on vehicles like this with a ton of different modules in the system, I think it just takes a while to scan them all and load all the data. So I wish it could be a little faster, but sometimes you just gotta wait a minute. Being able to do it remotely though over Bluetooth with the phone app is very cool. So we're going to hit report, and it should create a PDF of the report for us. Nice. There we go. Generated a report, and it's a PDF file. It's stored on the Android device, so no problem to look it up later. So we can go into System Scan. It's going to go through and scan and detect all the modules on the vehicle, tell us which ones are equipped, and then we can look at items from them individually. They all kind of operate the same way, so we don't need to look at every single one, but nice that it can quickly scan through and generate a list of all of the modules on the vehicle. Okay, cool. So went through, scanned everything, tells us which ones are equipped, and you can tap on one and go into that module to look at its particular features. Okay, back out of that. System selection, this will let us, without scanning, gives us a list of all the possible modules, and we can select one to go into. Probably more useful to use the system scan so you know which ones are already supported rather than just select them not knowing. Special functions. So here's special functions for this vehicle. So oil service, steering angle, ABS, so you can see injector coating. So lots of different things we could do. I'm not going to mess with any of this on my new Jeep, but nice that we have lots of maintenance functions available. And driver assistance systems calibration. I don't think we could do any of that anyways without logging into the security gateway, but it supports that function, especially if you could log into the gateway. So, you know, I know that's true on Chrysler vehicles. I have no idea if there's security module type thing available on other vehicles, but you might want to look into it. Okay, end our session. So we can look at reports, view the reports that we've generated and that are saved on here. So that's very cool. I also like that they're automatically uploaded to your account online so you could access them. And then they're also local, stored on the phone that the app is on. History shows us what vehicles we were connected to. Coverage list should let us search through all sorts of vehicles to see what exactly is supported. So there should be tons of stuff in this database. Right on. Okay, so that's about it. Very cool. Great unit. Small, compact case. Great size. Very easy to use. The Kingbolen app, Ediag app is awesome. So I would certainly recommend this. This is a great scanner. It's, you know, steps above a basic OBD scanner. It has special maintenance features and a great, you know, software system. And the compact size is really nice too. Hey, this is Evan with Octane Electrons, and we're going to do a video now doing a full test and demo of the Innova 5610 scan tool. This is an OBD2 scanner with bidirectional capabilities and a lot of features, so we're going to take a look. So we have our unit. You can watch the unboxing video to see what it comes with. Box is down there. So we've got our OBD cable to serial cable plugged into the unit, and I have my tablet with the Repair Solutions app as well, so we'll look at that in a minute. So here's the unit. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in down here. Let's see if I can show it. My truck has OBD port down on the bottom there. It's a 2007 F-150. So it'll go ahead and start up. I'm going to turn the key on. Okay, the unit should start up and link. Okay. All right, so you'll get on your first startup, or on every startup it looks like, I've turned it on once, you'll get the Repair Solutions app reminder. So you can hit skip. It'll go to the main menu with all your emissions monitor readiness info. And we'll go ahead and look at the app first. So I'm going to leave the unit here and grab my tablet. I just have an Android tablet here. And I've downloaded the Repair Solutions 2 app from the Android App Store. And I already started it up and logged in. You just make an account. It's really simple with your email and a password. I'm going to allow notifications here. Okay, and I did already pair it, so I think it'll... It's very simple and steps you through it, asks you if the unit's on, and then it'll require Bluetooth permissions, and then it should pair with the Innova tool. Okay. Then it'll go ahead and generate a report. It'll ask you for the mileage on the vehicle to generate an accurate report. So this truck has 35,700 miles on it. Generate report. And it'll take a few seconds. And then I haven't gone through the report yet, so we'll look at it and see how this works. Okay, so here's our whole screen. So no engine codes found, ready for emissions test. That's good. Emissions readiness light, green, yellow, red. This truck's green. And like you can see, this truck has low miles on it and doesn't have any problems. There's no codes or anything thrown on it to look at. But we'll take a look at what these maintenance items and repairs are. TSB and recall 0, warranty info. It's an 07, so I'm sure it's far out of warranty. Cost to own, vehicle history report, and an app review. So let's go up to the top here, tap on results, and shows us the status of all the emissions monitors. Misfire, fuel system, just tap on one of them. Tells you what they do, and tells you if they're completed or incomplete. So all of mine are complete. Great. Go back. And report 102, this should be my current report. Let's look at maintenance items. Okay, so it gives you a bunch of estimated maintenance based on the mileage you entered. So I'm at 37K, so it's saying at 40,000 miles, here's what estimated cost and repairs are. That's pretty cool. Oil change, oil filter, and then advisories for air filter, fluids, battery, check exhaust system, check fluid leaks, horn, inspect wheels, and you can schedule an actual maintenance with the Repair Pal tool, it looks like, so I don't need to do that. But that's pretty cool. Let's go back to the menu. Let's look at predicted repairs. Okay. Based on our data, it's likely following repairs will be needed in 12 months or 15,000 miles. 7% replace camshaft position sensor. Maybe, but I doubt that anytime soon, but we'll see. Replace catalytic converter, 14%. 9% replace evaporative emissions purge solenoid, and 17% replace ignition coils and spark plugs. Well, I've already done that on this truck, but interesting. So I guess it knows, that's kind of cool because it knows, can't tap on them for any more info, but it has an estimated price over here too, which is cool. So I guess it knows what your vehicle is from the VIN number and all, and then can estimate upcoming possible repairs based on that vehicle year and all. So that's pretty cool. Let's look at pull up recalls based on your vehicle. That's really cool. Let's see. All my recalls are from 07 to 09. Let's see if it'll give me a description of one. Yeah, recalling corner and bumper lamp assemblies. Not too worried about that. Let's look at one of the others. Here's one. Certain headlamp assemblies sold for F-150s. Okay. Yeah, they're all about headlights. Okay, well, pretty cool. That's awesome. It can pull up recalls based on the actual vehicle and technical service bulletins, but nothing listed for this truck. Okay. Let's look at warranty details. Basic coverage, 36,000 miles, so that's not useful, really. So it shows you nothing to tap on. I think those are just estimates based on most vehicles. Okay, cost to own. Let's look at that. So it'll calculate maintenance, fuel, repairs, insurance, and depreciation. So that's pretty cool. This truck gets pretty horrible mileage, like 11 miles per gallon. Let's say gas is $4 a gallon. My insurance is, I think it's cheaper than that. Let's say I think it's like $500 a year. Annual mileage, I drive about 6,000 miles a year maybe. and recalculate. 5 years, cost $22,000. So that's cool, interesting tool. Okay, I've got all that, and vehicle history report. Buying or selling through VIN data, it looks like. Okay, well, I don't need a report on this. I don't want to pay for one, but pretty cool. You can do that right from the app. And that looks like it. We can go home, erase codes, view live data, and there's a live data. So there's quick links down at the bottom here. Sorry, it's hard to focus on the shiny screen. Home gives you your overview. Report history is what we were just looking at. Live data. Could not link to vehicle. Okay. And settings. Okay, cool. Well, that's a pretty good app. That's useful. I like that. Let's get that out of the way. I could definitely see that being useful. It's got some nice functions built into it, so I like that. All right, let's take a look at the actual tool now. All right, here we go. Okay, so I've used other Innova tools. They have a similar button layout. You got these two kind of wheels on each side, up and down to select, to change items. Enter in the middle to select one. These are like hotkeys that'll change based on what's on the screen. Erase codes, system status, trouble codes, and freeze frame. Power and link, which we're already linked. We don't need to do that. Menu and live data. So let's see what we got here. So all of our monitors are ready. We already know all that. No hotkeys on this screen. Nothing to select. I'm not going to erase anything because I don't have any codes and I don't want to clear all the emissions monitors. So let's hit system status and look at, okay, global OBD2. Let's see. Okay. That is the global OBD2 menu that we were at. All right, let's look at ABS. Is this your vehicle? Yes. Ford ABS. No ABS trouble codes. Okay, great. I knew that. SRS. It's the airbag restraint system. Let's see. It should say no codes. Unable to establish communication. Yes, it's on. Yeah, so it may not be able to talk to that. I've noticed, this is an older truck. Not all of the modules are going to be supported on every vehicle, so I'm not going to worry about that. Okay. Oops, I did that again. Okay, let's look at TPMS. I already know this truck doesn't have it, so we'll probably get a similar error. Okay. Ford OEM enhanced. Let's see what we got. Continuous memory DTCs. Ford OEM enhanced. Continuous memory DTCs. Turn ignition off, then back on. Okay. Off. Back on. System pass. Okay. What other Ford OEM enhanced options do we have? So I don't know. Oh, key on, engine off, key on, engine running. So these are different tests you can do with the, let's see, key off, engine off. So let's see. My ignition is on. System pass. Okay. I'm in my warehouse here with the door closed, so I'm not going to start the engine up. And let's look at all module scan. I think this will go out and query all the computers in the car and then see if there's any codes in any of them. Okay, great. Then it'll show all the modules that it talked to. Powertrain, ABS, 4x4, driver seat, temperature controls, instrument cluster, parking aid, and vehicle security module. No codes anywhere. Let's see, can we go into them? Yeah, you can go into them and look, but there's no codes to display. Okay, so we've looked at all the systems. Let's see what else we got here. DT codes freeze frame. That tries to go into a particular one, so I'm going to go back to system status. Okay. Module selection. Alright, let's look at, I know this does bidirectional, I bet you select it through here. So let's select instrument cluster module. And it lit everything up as a self-test. So it's talking to the instrument cluster module. Right on. Okay, one moment please. Okay. Continuous DTCs or on demand? Let's see. On demand. Okay, it's still running a self-test at the instrument cluster. Let's come back here. System pass. Okay. Let's check driver seat module and see what it does. It's moving my seat. Okay, continuous DTCs. System pass. Okay, so this will let you run tests on each of the modules. I wonder, let's see. Generic electronic module. Cannot communicate. Okay, that's fine. All right, cool. Let's go to menu and see what else we got here. Just so I can be sure. Let's try power link. I think that is going to make sure it's connected. Let's check. Communication error. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the main screen, system status. All right, menus. Let's see here. Active test. What do we have? Powertrain control module. Okay. Engine RPM, fan control speed, emissions canister tests, fuel pump increase, decrease, fuel pump on, off. Let's see if we can turn it on. This parameter is output from the ECU to control fuel pump duty cycle. Okay, let's see if we can run it. Conditions are not correct. Okay, that's no problem. Okay, trying to go back. I think it's still waiting. Let's see. Okay, can't control the menu right now while it's waiting, so There we go. Okay. So we're back at the active test menu. Let's see what else we can select. Most of these things, I'm assuming I wouldn't be able to command right now without the engine running. I wonder, generator voltage desired. Condition, turn engine on, ignition on, engine off. Value 11 to 16 volts. Let's see. Screen info not found. So I guess I can't change that. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, I wonder if some of this stuff is only supported by newer vehicles. I have found, testing a lot of different scanners, this older truck doesn't support everything out there. A lot of scanners can detect a lot of modules on the vehicle, but you can't always control everything in them. So I'm not positive that this older truck actually supports some of the bidirectional tests, even though it can detect the modules. Well, I'm not sure how to go back from there. Alright. Not sure if it stopped or not. I'll go ahead and cycle the key and the unit. 1 second. We're gonna plug it back in again. Alright. Okay, there we go. Let's go to the main menu. Okay, let's look at special functions. Correct vehicle. Nope, do not support special functions for this vehicle. Okay. Service reset. There's nothing, no monitors on this, so we can try oil reset. Yeah, but no procedures available. Yeah, this truck doesn't support them, but that's great to have all this. Battery reset, steering angle sensor, electronic parking brake, DPF for diesel particulate filter, ABS bleeding. This truck does support that. I've done it before, but I don't want to start the cycle here and run the pump, but that's great to have here. So we've got lots of good service functions in there. Let's look at service check. Transmission fluid temperature. Okay, it's the only item it shows. OBD mode test. OBD monitor test. Let's see. Okay. Exhaust gas sensors, catalyst monitor, evap monitor, misfire. Let's look at one of these. Misfire cylinder 2. It shows the data, no counts for it. Okay. Alright, let's go back to OBD tests, evap, and IM monitor tests. Test request sent successful. Okay, let's go back. Okay, and battery alternator test. Let's see, battery test. Let's see here. Vehicle prepared. Transmission not moving. In park. Brake is on. Continue. Turn on headlights. Okay. Done. Going to run through and I think check battery voltage and see how much it degrades with the load of the headlights on. It's a good way to load test the battery. That's a pretty nice function to have built into this, and you don't even have to connect to the battery terminals in the engine, so I think that's pretty smart. Turn off headlights. Okay, so now we remove the load and it'll probably check again. Start the engine one time. Okay. Right on. Turn it off. Battery status good. So it'll show the voltage, show the drop with the headlights on, the drop with the starting motor, and that it comes back up correctly. So great. That's a very useful test. Right on. I'm not going to run the alternator test here because it'll require the motor running, and I have the door closed in here. Drive cycle procedures. Complete monitors, and all mine are already complete. Yeah, so I don't want to do any of the testing there, but that's nice to have for emissions testing. DLC locator. I wonder what DLC, I think that means the OBD2 connector. Let's see. So 2007. Oops. Next page. Ford. Okay, next page. F-150. Oh, right on. Located in driver's side understeering wheel column. DLC is uncovered. Yes, it is. Oh, very cool. I can't believe they have a database of that in here. Okay, nice. Vehicle info. ID. Yes, it's an F-150. Available modules. We've already scanned those, but that's great to have the list. Don't know what IPT means. O2, catalytic converter, EGR, air comp. So I'm not sure what all that is. Looks like various emissions related components. And firmware version, tool library. Oh, good. So you have like a legend and library and stuff for the various functions on here. Tool settings, and that's all of them. Let's take a look at live data. So I hit the live data button down here. Live data not supported for this vehicle. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I've seen that many times that this older truck just doesn't support all the functions. So back to menu, and we'll go back to system status. And global OBD2, which is that main screen it should load to. Communication error. Oh, helps if I turn the key back on, sorry. Let me get back to the main menu. Then we'll go back and look at live data because that is probably why it said it was not supported. We'll check. I believe this tool lets you look. Skip that. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to hit live data. Let's see. I thought I had the key on when I turned the truck off. I guess not. Okay, there we go. So it does support that. So let's see. Let's look at load, engine RPM, vehicle speed, spark advance, intake air temperature. Here, let's look at throttle position sensor. Okay, great. So I'm going to hit graph. And if I hit the throttle, let's see. Oops, there we go. Awesome. Okay, so we can graph live data. So let's see if I get all of it. So I'm at 0 right now, or throttle off, but it's never going to be 0, so it's 10% or whatever it said. There's full throttle, almost 100%. Right on. Let's look at text view. There we go. Okay, I'll go back to graph. 2 graphs. Oh, right on. Okay, so it'll let you show multiple graphs of different items. So we're looking at TPS versus O2 sensor right now, which is not super useful, but it just puts some various monitors in there. So TPS, O2 sensor, and I don't know what STFT is. But let's go to select one, hit enter to superimpose. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So we can look at multiple data streams on the same screen with multiple charts. So that's very useful. Right on. Let me go back to text view and see actual numbers. Right on. Okay. So I think that's all the functions we can look at here on this truck. So again, that's the Innova 5610. It's a full function scanner, bi-directional tools, live data. Works great with the Repair Solutions 2 app. So I think this is a really excellent unit. Comes in a nice case. It's a good size, full features. So yeah, I would highly recommend it. Works great, and this is one I'll be keeping in my truck. All right, thanks for watching. From Octane Electrons. Today we're going to check out a very cool, pretty high-end OBD2 scanner. This is the launch CRP919E BT model. So this is an Android tablet with a Bluetooth, like wireless Bluetooth module that plugs into the OBD port. Full featured scanner that does all sorts of stuff, bidirectional graphing, Wi-Fi updates, can do ECU coding and a bunch of advanced service features. My cars I have to test it on probably don't support most of this, so I won't be able to show everything, but we'll show what we can. We'll check it on my Subaru, my O2 WRX here, and see what it supports. So it comes in a really nice molded case that holds everything. Go ahead and open it up. So I've already opened it up and updated it and registered it. It would just be kind of long and hard to show all the features to set it up like that. The tablet is over here with Velcro straps, which is really nice. Let's take it out of the bag here. Okay. And take this off. Okay. So we'll look at the unit first. Got USB port here. Looks like a USB-A, USB-C ports. On the back, serial number, all that stuff. It's a thick plastic case, rubberized corners for protection, which is really nice. It's kind of heavy. Seems to be really well made. Power button right here. We'll let that boot up to the main menu. Okay, and in the other side of the case, unlock this, open it up. We have the Bluetooth module, OBD2 cable for the module to the car, and a power plug charging cable. So it charges over the USB, it looks like. The USB-C plug, and it's got different adapters for different power outlets in different countries. And then we have a packing list, user manual, and your activation code and serial number are on. Let me show you here. So we got a user manual in there, a quick start guide, and then you've got an envelope in here that has your activation code and serial number for the software. So make sure you keep that. All right. Now, like I said, I had already updated this. Okay. So we're at the main menu here. I don't have it connected to the Wi-Fi here. I updated it at home. But when you're connected to your Wi-Fi, you can go to your software update and get out of that. Log into your account. When you first start it up, it's going to ask you to register an account, make a name and password or email and password, and then enter your serial number and activation code. And then it'll let you log in and you can update your software from the mall. I guess without Wi-Fi I can't. With a Wi-Fi connection, you can go to the mall and you can download other software packages that aren't included for a ton of advanced stuff. I don't have any vehicles to use that on, so I'm not going to purchase any of it. But that's about it to take a look at everything here. I'm going to go ahead and get it plugged into the car, and then we'll start checking it out. So I'll be right back. Okay, so sorry, change of plans. We were looking at my 2007 Ford F-150. I was going to test this on the Subaru, but I think it's an older WRX, and the diagnostic modes work just fine, but the automatic VIN detection doesn't seem to work on the Subaru. So anyways, that's okay. We're going to use my F-150, which works fine. So I have the OBD cable plugged in down there, got my key on, and here's our module. All the lights are on, it's connected. And I had to look this up. So this is a breakout cable, so you can use this with older OBD systems. So you can break this out to different connectors apparently. which we don't need here. So, okay, so we're at the main menu. I went ahead and connected to my Wi-Fi so we can look at, I don't think there's any updates, but we'll show you. We'll go into software update first. Oh, so since last night, there's a couple updates. So let's go ahead and check them both and say update. Should just take a second. So yeah, I updated everything last night, and there's more already, so very cool. All right, perfect. Okay, so our updates are done. Okay, perfect. Go back. We can look at the mall really quick. You can see all these software packages available. There's a bunch of cool stuff. I might play with later, but I don't need anything now. So Tesla and a bunch of Asian manufacturers that I'm not familiar with, and certainly not going to buy the software for because I won't use it. But lots of expandability for the software. One thing I definitely want to look at later is it has motorcycle software in the mall. BMW, I'm not sure, demo. Harley, Honda, Kawasaki, Suzuki, Yamaha. I don't have, most of my bikes are older. I have a newer Moto Guzzi that's fuel injected and has a computer, but it doesn't clearly work with this. So anyways, at some point when I have a bike to work on that's newer, I might look at that software, but very cool. Expandability, nothing under model or other, let's see, what's this? Oh, commercial. Okay, so clearly I don't need any of that stuff. Some other tabs up here. Service upgrade lets you, looks like, upgrade your software packages as they get newer. I suppose this probably has a year of updates or something that comes with your account. Renewal card, other goods, nothing there. Okay, so there's the mall. I'm gonna hit the exit button up in the corner, go back to the main menu. So that's very cool. Info center I was looking at last night. This was pretty cool. It has, so operation tips. This was pretty cool because it like has an entire catalog of manufacturers. So we'll go into Ford, and it has a bunch of like notes on how to use this with various features for Ford. So none of them seem to apply to my older F-150, but it's pretty cool. So if you tap on one like here, Ford tire pressure monitoring for a 2005 Navigator, and it'll open this like service bulletin kind of thing telling you exactly how to do the test. So that, I thought that was really cool. I don't need any of these, but very cool that they have this like library or catalog here to help. Okay, DTC help. I'm sure you can guess, but it has a DTC library for some manufacturers. So Suzuki air conditioning system, check. Let's see. So again, more specific stuff for trouble codes for specific models. So very cool. Again, I don't need any of that right now, but really nice to have that built into the unit. Technology handbook. Let's look at this. Ford. Software is planned, so nothing here yet. See if there's anything in any of them. Audi, diagnostic software guide, fuel injection management system. So it looks like you have to be connected to the Wi-Fi for this, and it's grabbing a file, probably a PDF file or something, from their system to display, which is very cool to have that technology. So I suppose you do want to leave this connected to your Wi-Fi. You don't have to use the features, but there's a lot of expandability there. What's really cool is just how nice the tablet is. It's totally portable, rubber corners, so you can drop it or whatever. It's well built. I think this is pretty awesome. And the fact that it's Bluetooth, you could test stuff outside of the car. So cool. Yes, wiring diagram. Right on. So again, awesome. Doesn't have stuff for every vehicle, but got a lot of nice features there built into the unit. Okay. User info. So this takes you into like the settings menu kind of. I'm not going to go through that stuff. It has my info in it. Other modules. So here's a bunch of other stuff, which are really Android apps, I think. Web browser, calculator, Gmail, gallery. It has a, does it have a camera? Let's see. I think it does. Yeah, okay, cool. So it has a camera in the tablet. Right on. So very cool. Service functions, we'll go back through some of this after we look at the diagnostic settings. My truck's not going to support most of this, being a 2007 anyways, but very cool. Feedback lets you submit a bug report. It looks like select vehicle model for diagnostic feedback. Okay, so we don't need to do any of that. Diagnostic history shows the Subaru when I was accessing it, but we're going to start over like we're looking at the truck here. Okay, so let's start with intelligent diagnose. I think this is the most functional way most people would use this. All right. Read the VIN just fine. So on my Subaru, it would go through and detect the VIN, no problem, but it like wouldn't confirm it, and it would ask me to type it in again, and I'm not sure why. It's an older vehicle, so I'm assuming that's why. So Ford EV, no, this is a Ford truck. Okay, software, Ford series version, test different models, supports all the modules this truck's gonna have, that's for sure. It is a 2007 F-150. It is a 5.4 liter, and that's the correct VIN. All right, so let's hit diagnostics. Let's start a session here and check it out. Okay, ignition is on. Cool. Okay, we're here at the main menu. Let's do a health report. Nice, very fast scanning, which is great. So again, I think this is my older Subaru, but I did a manual test telling it was a Subaru and to run that software, and it was able to scan all the modules and stuff, no problem, but it was much slower. And again, I think that's due to the older vehicle, probably older computer. So let's see what we got. My truck, I use this for a lot of videos. It's a low mile, 37,000 mile, 2007 F-150. It has no error codes. So there's usually not anything we need to like check, but it's a good truck to look through things for. And I've seen this pop up before. This is a code that comes up every now and then. Doesn't trigger a check engine light, but I have seen this fuel pump secondary circuit code come up for my truck a few times now. I've cleared it and it comes back, so nothing I'm worried about right now, but at some point I'll look into that. I have put a new fuel pump driver module on this truck, which is usually the problem with these. Yeah, it's about the FPDM. So, interesting. At some point we'll look into that, but it's not causing any problems here. But again, very cool that you can see the code right here, and I can look it up for a description using Wi-Fi right from that button. I think that's pretty awesome. I'll go into the powertrain control module and see if there's anything else we can learn from the actual module menu. So it's organized like most of these scanners. It'll show, do a self-detect or auto-detect, whatever you want to call it, and then show all the modules your vehicle supports. Then you can go into each of those modules for the advanced functions for each one. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Software number, we don't need that. Clear fault memory. So I wondered, this is bidirectional scanner. Maybe we can activate the fuel pump and see if it tells us anything interesting. All right. This parameter is output from the ECU to control fuel pump duty cycle. A fuel pump driver module. Yeah, well, we have one of those. Let's see. Turn it on. And off. Well, don't see anything interesting happening there. Let's go back. Fuel pump percent. Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't see anything interesting there. Anti-theft indicator lamp control. Very cool. So bidirectional stuff's always awesome. There's all sorts of stuff you can control here, but most of which I really don't need to mess around here. Let's look at read fault code. Retrieve. Yeah, there it is. Fuel pump secondary circuit. I'm going to clear that, and I'll check this again and see if it comes back. Because I have a new driver module, like I said, so I don't know why that code shows up, and I don't have any fuel pump problems. Okay, so already very cool to check out. Special functions. Infotainment display test. Passive anti-theft system. No, I don't want to run through that whole test. Okay, spark duration, compression. A lot of cool tests in here. I really don't want to run all of these, but power balance. Lots of cool tests I haven't seen on other scanners. That's very cool. Okay, right on. All right, let me get out of that. Look at 4x4 module. Actuation testing is your bidirectional testing. That's great. You can turn the wheel solenoids on and off. Those require vacuum, and the engine's not running, so I'm not going to mess with that. But really great for troubleshooting because we can activate all of these different things. I think that's very cool. Let's see what else. ABS module. ABS service bleed. I have other scanners that have done that, and I have used that on this truck before, so that's very useful. Program modules. Actuation tests. Oh wow, it can actually activate every individual valve. That could be very useful. Right on. So this has more features than even my other bidirectional scanner does. Much more detailed control features. That's very cool. Look at driver seat control module. Actuation tests. That's great when you can actually control things right from the tablet. Great. Let's look. And that moves my power driver's seat right away. Very cool. Okay. Right on. So again, can be super useful for trying to troubleshoot a very specific function. Instrument cluster, parking aid. I wonder what we can change in the parking aid module. Maybe the distance it activates at. Oh, just actuation tests. Activate. Let's see. Yep. Right on. Awesome. Okay. Let's look in the vehicle security module. I feel like a lot of these bidirectional scanners won't be able to activate any functions in there. Oh, right on. Can change factory keyless entry code. I don't want to change anything. Programmable parameters. Yeah, that's okay. All right, very cool. Okay, still loading. Okay, that took a while. Interesting. Two-step unlock, driver's door unlock, keypad backlighting. That's probably the keypad outside the car, not supported. It's okay. Horn output. Okay, that works. Okay, right on. So we've looked at the bidirectional stuff. Very cool. Works great. Look at some of the data stream stuff we can display. Select those and see. Right on. So we can pick different ID sensor IDs to display. We can show them in a table format, which is awesome. Let's check the graph format. Yeah, awesome. So then we can also graph multiple data items at the same time. So that's always really useful for troubleshooting. Right on. Combined, we can put them on the same graph. So very cool. That can be a very powerful tool for troubleshooting. So right on. Okay, cool. All right, so that's pretty much everything in the diagnostic menu. Let's see here. So system selection, that basically is where we were before. Lets us select individual models, individual computers, sorry, to test and look at. Okay, different service functions. I doubt my truck has most of these. Doesn't have oil reset. Bleeding, it probably supports, yeah, ABS service bleed. Oil reset, this truck doesn't do that. Electric throttle relearn, that could be useful. Gearbox relearn. Seat calibration. Power balance cylinders. So some cool things in common functions. Vehicle information. System scans, going to step through again and check all the modules to tell us what is supported by this scanner. Yeah, right on. Gives us the whole module list. Okay. Special functions, body, security. That kind of is another way into the functions for the individual models, or individual modules. But instead of going into the module first, we can look at what special functions are available. So, very cool. Kind of a shortcut if you know you need those functions. And module programming. Let's see what is supported here. Programmable module. Okay, so we could install and program a new vehicle security module, driver seat module, instrument cluster, and ABS. Awesome. That's very powerful. Most scanners do not do that. And here's parameters we can change from the vehicle. Climate control, outside temperature, flex fuel, don't want to mess with that. Power door locks. I'm not going to change my settings there. Exterior lighting, perimeter lighting. Let's see what that does. Forbid and enabled. Well, I'll look it up later because I'm not sure what perimeter lighting is. Personality, flex fuel, occupant restraint. No. Okay, so I don't want to change any of that. But very cool functions from there. Okay, so I'm going to end the session, and it does an alarm telling me don't forget to remove the scanner tool, or the OBD tool. So we can look at the history, we can see what we scanned, we can look at the diagnostic report it generated, so that's very cool. Show us what the error codes are and any of that. Quick access. Right on. So that does a very quick scan, gets us back to the main menu. Okay. Yep. Okay. Exit that. So I think that's the best way to use it, is intelligent diagnose. Local diagnose lets you go through. This is how I was able to work with the Subaru. You can go through and actually pick the make and load the very specific software. It won't auto detect for you, so you'll tell it. So you go through and pick, go to American, Ford. It's going to say okay, it'll launch the Ford software. So we can automatically search, and it should be able to detect the vehicle. Or like the Subaru, like I said, it wouldn't auto detect, but I could tell it what the vehicle was, and it will work just fine. Just doesn't support anywhere near what this truck does. It doesn't have individual modules for all sorts of functions. So kind of ends up at the same place, but a different way of doing it, especially on an older vehicle that doesn't support the same features. And we'll go back into service function. That was the other thing. And like I said, this truck doesn't support most of these things. A newer vehicle probably does, but like, let's see what sunroof reset does. I know this truck doesn't have a sunroof, so we'll see. Not successfully performed. Please go to Smart Diagnosis and perform the procedure. We'll see what happens. So you have to go in and select what you have. We'll try Ford. We already know we don't even have a sunroof in here, so I expect we'll get an error message at some point. That's the correct vehicle. Does not support. Okay, so we're not going to be able to use most of these on this vehicle, but there are things in here that are supported. Like the only one I see out of all this that I know for sure would work, this truck supports the ABS bleeding function, but the service function is like a shortcut. You can get to these through the individual modules when you're inside of the vehicle diagnosis screen, but this is like a shortcut to a specific service that you need to do, especially if you know your vehicle supports it. So right on. Okay, well, I think that covers all the functions and features here. I hope you like it. I'm super impressed with this. This is my new go-to scanner. I love it. Thing is awesome, really well made, works really well, intuitive, great software, comes in a great case and all that. So yeah, I'm very happy with it. Really excellent tool, and I hope you like checking this out. Hey, this is Evan from Octane Electrons. Today we're going to check out the new launch X431 Pro 3S Plus Elite. This is a repair shop, professional level diagnostic OBD scanner. It has a SmartLink module that can be used as a J2534 programmer, and comes with the tablet. And the SmartLink works to talk to your vehicle, but it comes with a really killer Android tablet with the launch app to be your interface. So it's just really excellent. I've been playing around with it a little bit to make sure I can explain a lot of the features on the video, because it's got a lot of stuff. So we're going to look at everything we can here. It comes with a separate case. You can see it says non-16 pin adapter box. So this is very cool. Comes with all sorts of adapters for various cars, trucks, all sorts of stuff. One thing I'm going to play with, I forget which one it was. I think it's this 12 pin. Has an old GM OBD1 adapter, and I have an old 81 Firebird that's a first year with a computer command control that uses that. So at some point I'll play around with that and see how it works. But comes with adapters for all sorts of vehicles. Of course, the cable that comes with the SmartLink is a typical OBD2 cable plug, so nothing to worry about there for most modern vehicles, but this gives you a ton of flexibility. Comes with various power cables here, battery clip for a 12-volt battery, and a cigarette lighter plug for the SmartLink device, so you can power it off the vehicle. And then we have some other adapter cables in here. So very cool. Okay, we'll go back over here. Here's the main box for the unit. We'll open it up. Has a really nice user manual that explains everything you need to know, packing list, start guide, and then it has your code, yeah, right here, on a piece of paper that'll have your serial number and activation code for the software. So make sure you have that. You'll need it when you set up your tablet and register it. Set that out of the way. Okay, in the box, open this up. We have our tablet right here. And this thing is really amazing. Let's go ahead and open it up and take a look. Okay, really nice, durable Android tablet. Killer reflective screen, super bright, has USB ports there, has a kickstand on the back, camera. You can use this thing as a full-on Android tablet outside of the diagnostic use. It's really killer. Okay, so I'm going to turn it on, let it power up. We'll go ahead and set it aside for now. Okay, set it over here. And put this down. Okay, other side of the box. I love this. They use these latching tabs here. You can open it up. It's super nice. Store all the rest of your cables. You have, I think it's Cat5 network cable, which is used for the SmartLink interface for some diagnostic connections that I don't use, and I'm not totally sure. It's not an application I'll use it for, but it does have the port on here. And then we have USB cable right there for the SmartLink interface to use as a programmer, a J2534 programmer. And then it has various power cables and your OBD cable that connects from the SmartLink to your vehicle. So that's everything we get with it. Let's see. Cool. Our tablet has powered up. You can see the nice interface. And when it powers up for the first time, I had to go ahead and do it so I could get it updated and familiar with it. But you do need to power it up, connect it to a Wi-Fi network, just like any Android phone or tablet. You need to run system update and go through and make sure the software is up to date for the system. And then when you're in the X431 app, we'll look at all this in a minute, you can update all the app and its software and stuff. So make sure you do all that. I already did it. It would just take forever to show you, and it's very intuitive, so I wasn't going to spend time doing that in this video. Okay, so like I said, we have our power cable, charger for the tablet, OBD cable in there. So first, what we're going to do is look at the J2534 interface software. I don't have any need for that myself, and it's beyond the scope of repairs I do, but I know it's used for being able to program engine computers, ECMs, and various things, which is really something a full-on dealership level would need. And it's very cool. It's just outside of kind of my scope. I use these as diagnostic tools, really, but we're going to go ahead and look at the software because I have it on the computer here, and I think it'd be really interesting to show. So I like having the ability to do it. I just don't have a way to demonstrate any actual programming. But if you have it hooked up over the OBD cable to your vehicle, it'll get 12 volts in power on that way. Or you can use one of the included power cables, which, since I'm showing this part outside of the vehicle, we're going to do that. I'm going to plug in power right there. And then I'm going to plug in the battery clip leads to a 12 volt battery I have right here. And we'll see the port lights up and the SmartLink interface is going to boot up. Okay, very cool. We can go ahead and take our USB cable. I have it connected to an old Windows laptop here, and I'm going to plug that in as well. Okay. And we heard this thing beep. Local diagnosis, vehicles communicating, which it's talking over USB to the laptop, so that's all great. Okay, so let's look at the software. I already have it installed here, but you can get it from the launch website and go to the page for the X431 Pro 3S Plus Elite, and you can scroll down to download, and right here, J2534 tool and operation manual.rar. Download that file. Okay, which I have already done. I have it right here. You're going to want to open that file up. You'll see the operations guide and the installer file. So I've already extracted them. I already ran the installer file. I mean, I'll open it up, but I have already installed it. Typical Windows installer, go through that. It will install the launch software. Okay, so I'm not going to do that again. You can see the PDF file guide here that shows you kind of the operating principles, how this works. Shows you using the SmartLink as a pass-through device for Windows software for various programmers. And it shows you the diagnostic software that's compatible with this. And like I said, I don't have any of it. I don't do this kind of work. But you can see it covers Toyota, Honda, Volvo, VW, BMW, Ford, Subaru, GM, Chrysler, Benz, and Land Rover. And I don't have any factory diagnostic software, so we're not going to do anything there. But it's very cool to see that this has the capability. Okay, what we are going to do, it shows you the websites for the factory software, so pretty cool. Okay, what we are going to do is, let me close this out, we're going to launch the software. So I started up, and you can see it shows the launch software. It says down there the device is connected, and what I have not done is updated the device. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Hit upgrade right here. Let that run. Heard the box beep, so it seemed to have done something. Still says vehicle is communicating on the SmartLink. And it said upgrade success, and now it said upgrade failed. Interesting. Please do not run diagnostic software during the upgrade. Okay, well, let's close it. We'll disconnect. Might as well power it down. We'll connect one more time and check and make sure it's up to date. Okay. Because it did say upgrade success before I got an error, so I'm going to let it power up. There we go. I'll wait till it gets to its main screen before I plug in the USB. Okay. Equipment is ready. I'm going to go ahead and plug in my USB cable. Vehicle is communicating. Okay, great. I'm going to go ahead and relaunch the launch software. It is connected. Still shows like there's an update. So we had an update to the J2534 version before, but it looks like DLL version still needs an update. So I'm going to try this again. And let's see what happens. Okay, still going. Device beeped. So I think, oh, there we go, upgrade success, and also upgrade failed. So, I don't know, let's check again. Yeah, the device upgrade seemed to work. Still have a DLL version. Interesting. Well, we'll have to look into that. Like I said, I'm not using that feature, so I'm not going to spend more time on it, but that is how you upgrade it using their software, and then obviously you'd be using your factory software on your computer and using the SmartLink device as an interface, which that's about all I can do. So we're going to go ahead and put it in the vehicle and then look at the tablet and check out all the features. So this will be pretty cool. I used to do my videos on my old 07 F-150. I sold that and I finally got a new vehicle. I have a 24 Jeep Gladiator now, and I love it. One of the downsides of showing all my scanner videos now that I have this truck is it requires the auto auth login for Chrysler vehicles. It has a security gateway which prevents you from doing bidirectional control and stuff. You can just scan codes. So it's kind of a bummer, but it's a brand new truck. I don't have any need to do that yet, so I'm not buying a license and going to do that at this point. But I will show you how the tablet works and what all we can do with it. But we're going to be locked out of being able to actively do any tests and bidirectional stuff. But that's okay. I think it'll show the power of this tablet and setup. So let me get it connected in the vehicle, and then we'll start taking a look. Okay, so here we are in the Jeep. Let me let's see, turn the screen off. Okay, we have the OBD cable plugged into the OBD port down there. Runs over here. The other side's a serial interface that just screws right into the Smart Link. And I went ahead and turned my key on, so it's a push button start, but you can see it's sitting there ready. So we have the Smart Link on, local diagnosis, equipment is ready. Okay, cool. And remote diagnostic mode. Okay, cool. So we're gonna go over here to the tablet, which the Jeep is pretty nice because I can hang it right here with the little kickstand. So we're gonna hit X431 software, let it start up. Okay, we're gonna be at the main screen here. So I don't have, at my shop here, I don't have this connected to the Wi-Fi. I did it at home to run my updates and all. But let's see. I guess I should go ahead and connect it. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so I connected the tablet to my Wi-Fi, which you can see just do through the Wi-Fi button, just like an Android phone or tablet. And I'm going to open X431 app. Go back to the main screen. Okay, so when you open it up, your main screen looks like this. Now, one thing I wanted to show you since I reconnected it to the Wi-Fi, I said earlier, your system update button right here, make sure you run that when you get the tablet and make sure it's up to date. You just hit it, it'll do a check. You have to be connected to Wi-Fi, obviously. And if it needs an update, it'll say okay, does it automatically. It's easy. Mine's up to date, so okay, no problem. All right. You can see the other things here. We have Team Viewer installed. That's for remote control if you're working with like a remote technician or something. Quick Support, which is support from Launch website link, and then we have the X431 diagnostic app, which is what we use for pretty much everything. You have your camera, gallery, file explorer, internet browser, Gmail, like typical Android stuff's already installed. So pretty cool. Because like I said, it's a powerful Android tablet on its own. So now that we're inside the X431 app, first thing to do is your software update. I'm going to hit update. I've already run the update recently, but looks like there's 8 new updates available. And so I'm going to hit update right here. Let those run. They shouldn't take long. So like I said before, when the first time you log this in, it's going to ask you to create an account and make sure you do all that. You put in your activation code and serial number that comes in the box, and that'll help you get your unit activated and ready and connected and everything. And I think they give you, I believe it was 2 years of software updates from launch. So it's pretty generous. It has everything you need. And then you can also go into the store, the software store, and buy tons more software extensions. So for what I need, which is typically, American common cars, like I don't really need any of that. It has some motorcycle plugins, which I might try at some point, but I don't currently have any fuel injected motorcycles that this would talk to and be useful for me. I typically have old motorcycles, so I haven't bought any of those, but maybe someday. Okay, that's installing, and hopefully we'll finish up this last one real quick. That BMW one must be large. It's downloading quite a bit of data, but not showing much progress. There we go. So, yeah, my only fuel-injected bike is a 2012 Moto Guzzi, and it uses an old, I think, a Morelli or Bosch ECU or something, which I use some free open-source software to reprogram for my fuel mapping and stuff, and never needed to use anything else, just a cable to my laptop. Okay, we're going to go back. Hopefully that'll keep running while we're doing other stuff. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, so we're going to let the update finish. Let's look at some of the other stuff before we go into the diagnosis. So, check for updates, diagnostic update over Wi-Fi, fine. Product manual, quick start, FAQ, so just typical stuff. Yeah, we don't need to view the manual right now. See if I can go back. Okay. Settings. You can register all your shop name information. I don't do that, but units, metric, or English. I leave them on English. Printer setup. Clear cache, we don't need to do any of that. Device account management, so nothing we need to mess with right now. So user info should show you any reports you've generated. Shows the, I believe that'll be the serial number of your SmartLink device. Yeah, so you can see it matches the device shown on the screen of my SmartLink. Activate lets you activate another SmartLink device or communication device with your tablet or software. Profile, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Let's see what's next. Repair info. Okay, workshop data. I haven't used this, but if you have an account with it, yeah, I'd trial. I don't have an account. I don't need this, but looks like you can get info through Haynes manuals and get workshop information for different vehicles. Equipment operation tips. Different stuff you can learn about using the device. Training videos, website. Cool. So a bunch of resources. That's very cool. Launch Academy. Okay, repair case, tire pressure maintenance database, skills, training video. I don't know what this is. Let's see. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm not totally sure. I don't use that function and haven't even looked at it. So, interesting. Okay, Mall. So this is useful. This is your software store to download other software for your device. You can see when your subscription expires, you can renew it at a discount to update all your software in the future. But like I said, it comes with plenty of time of service of updates. Renew, and then cheaper options to renew less of the software. And single software you can purchase or in packs. Software store will show you all these different vehicles, and you see it's China, Asia, Europe, so lots of different areas for different types of vehicles. You know, and I'm in the US and Colorado. Most of this isn't useful for me, but very cool that it supports all this stuff, so it's truly a worldwide device. Commercial vehicle. I know part of the advertising with this was about the heavy-duty 24-volt systems, and you can see it tells you right here, and the cable box comes with support and cables for older vehicles and heavy-duty vehicles and stuff. So pretty cool. Again, nothing I'm going to use, but really, you know, really interesting because you can use this for so much stuff. Interesting. Cummins, Allison, Caterpillar. Pretty cool. So this one device could do so much stuff for you. It also has support for electric vehicles. Tesla package. I don't have any electric vehicles, so I'm not going to play with that, but very interesting that these are now supporting diagnostic interfaces for electric vehicles. Okay, IMMO. I don't know what that is. I need to learn about this because I've seen that other places, but I'm not sure what that means. I think maybe it's related to key programming or a security interface, which I haven't done before, but lots of interesting stuff there. Reset. Motorcycle software, which I might play around with at some point, but I don't have any use for it at this point. And software packages. So, very cool store that you can do that. Oh, wait, I do want to see. Go back to software packages. Software store, software pack. EV diagnosis add-on kit. Interesting. HD software package for all the heavy-duty stuff. Motorcycle security software. Very cool. Okay, awesome. Feedback link. Last 20 diagnostic sessions saved. So you can submit a bug report or get help on stuff, so that's pretty cool. X431 diagnosis kit. So these are a bunch of the other things that this supports and uses. I would love to get the oscilloscope kit. I don't have it, but there's a separate add-on oscilloscope box for these, so maybe someday I'll get that to try, because you can use this as a really full function oscilloscope, which is super cool. I think we can launch it. No, maybe not. CAN bus. Interesting. Let's see. I haven't tried this. connected to the diagnostic device to the smart link, and it's running a scan on the OBD port. Oh, very cool. Shows you individual voltage on each terminal. Right on. I love this. Very cool. Vehicle coverage. I think this is a database of the vehicles that are supported by this. Yeah, pretty cool. Oh, let's look. Jeep. Select model. Gladiator. Jeep 2024 Gladiator supports all functions for it. Very cool. So yeah, it is a database to let you see. Clear software, fixed connector. Don't need to do any of this. DLC voltage check. Okay, you can see your vehicle voltage. Okay, not sure on that one. And then let's go back to software update. Looks like everything's done. Right on. Okay, so you can see those are all done successfully. It'll refresh and should tell me there's no updates left. Yeah, upgradable 0. Perfect. Okay, software update's done. Let's go into Toolbox. So here's a bunch of other, this is what I was thinking of. This is where you can access all the other features that this has, but you need add-on equipment for it. And I don't have any of that, but I may get to try. Like Key Programmer, I don't have that add-on module. Oops. But that may be very cool and useful in the future, so I may look at getting something like that. You can do all your key programming through this. Oh yeah, maybe Immobilizer. So this is, there's a tool for this, an add-on. Yeah, I don't have it or need for it, but very cool. Okay, no problem. Insulation, multimeter, current clamp, scope box. So that's, like I said, it'll launch the software, but I don't have the add-on oscilloscope box. But I played around with it a little bit. It's pretty cool. It looks like a fully featured oscilloscope, so that is definitely something I might add because this is such an excellent tablet. It could be really useful to have. And there's different versions of it. The sensor box, the scope box. Video scope is like a, it'll launch, but endoscope's not connected. So that gives you like a fiber optic scope, meters, all sorts of super useful tools. So we'll see. This is a great scanner, so I will probably start expanding on that stuff. Okay, special functions. Let's take a look. A ton of stuff. I don't need to do any of that on this vehicle, but this is really cool to see. I mean, I have like 600 miles on this brand new Jeep, so I'm not messing with any of this right now, but this tool supports everything. ABS bleeding. Look at this. Adaptive lighting, air fuel reset, battery matching, brake reset, ECU coding, crank sensors, DPF region, throttle relearning, cruise control system, injector coding. Look at that. Tons of stuff. Window calibration. So right on. Not all vehicles are going to support every one of those special functions, but man, that's cool. EV functions for electric vehicles. I don't have one clearly, but you can see all these functions that are available. That's awesome. Okay, remote diagnose. That'll let you... I don't want to look at the guide. Come on. So that'll let you connect to a remote technician that can talk through the SmartLink interface to be able to diagnose the vehicle remotely. Very cool. Okay, so these are the two you'll use if you're using it as like an OBD scanner. So local diagnose. Let's look at that first. This one lets you kind of manually do everything. You can select your vehicle, go into the vehicle, select different modules to look at. It's the manual way of going into exactly what you want. So if you're already real familiar with this, this is very powerful. However, we're going to look at intelligent diagnose because it's probably the way most people would use this to start. So you start it up. It's going to connect to the SmartLink down there. And over Bluetooth, you'll hear it start clicking and it's talking to the vehicle. It's going to read your VIN information and take a minute to detect the vehicle, and then it will tell you when it's ready. Okay, right on. So here we are. Detected it's a Jeep using the Chrysler software, 2024 Jeep, blah, blah, blah. Great. Quick access should let us access specific modules that we know we needed to look at. Kind of similar to going in through the local diagnose. So the first time you do this, it can take a little bit to go out and communicate and see what modules are supported. You can see it tells us the battery voltage up in the corner. That's nice. Okay. All right, 2024 Gladiator. I noticed this before when I play with it. It says unknown at first, and then once you do it again, it will report the VIN number. Okay, so like I said, this vehicle is equipped with the SGW security gateway module. I don't have the unauto-auth account to unlock it, which would give me access to everything to control. So we can't really do tons here because I just don't have a need for that on my new vehicle yet. Whenever I do, I will get one. So if I said yes, I could then log in through my Chrysler account for auto-auth. But I'm going to say no because I don't have an account. And it's going to say it can't unlock the security gateway, so you can just read stuff. And I know, and that's okay. So I've looked it up. Like you can get a license easily. It's not a problem. I just don't have a need for it and really want to spend the money on it yet because I won't use it at this point. But the first time I need to do something on this vehicle, I certainly will. So I noticed the first time in a session you go through this, it takes longer to load everything. Once it's already done this, you can look at different modules and stuff much quicker. I think it already like stores it in memory or something, and it does not take as long to load each section. So we'll give it a minute so I can show you the screens. Okay, so here we are, finished loading, and it's now showing the system topology screen. So this is really cool. Gives you a breakdown of the entire interface and all the modules in the vehicle. So this is everything it could support. It doesn't mean your vehicle has all of those. So we're going to go through, let's hit high-speed scan and let it go through and do a detect. So it's going to go through and try and talk to each of the modules in your vehicle, and then it'll show you which ones are supported. So you can see some of them are grayed out for not equipped, green ones are normal, and then it's showing which ones are scanned. Now, you know, I don't know, being that I don't have the security gateway unlocked, like this may not be, like I think this vehicle has some of these modules, but it can't detect them since I'm not logged in. But this kind of view is very cool. I think this is awesome. Like, let's look at radio. So you can tap on any particular module and then see if it had any trouble codes or anything in that module. Like, let's see. I hit enter on the body control module. I don't think it's going to let me do it because I don't have the security gateway access, but we'll see what happens. Oh, good. It lets me go in. I suppose I can read any codes that were here. It shows me software information. We can clear codes. We can read codes. We don't have any codes, but right on. Okay, good. So I can read stuff even though I don't have a login for the security module. We can read data stream. So I don't know. Let's try some of these. Say okay. So there we go. Shows us we can select items that are part of that module. We can view their current value, and then we can graph them as well, like most scanners of this level support. So very cool. Of course, turn signal indication graphing probably isn't helping, but we can do lots of stuff, for diagnosing battery voltage or speed or whatever versus, throttle position, stuff like that. So the graphing can be very cool. Actuation test. I assume I can't do that, but let's see. Yeah, could not start actuator. So not surprising. I don't have access to the module to be able to give it those commands. So that's okay. But right on. So lots of great options there. So this view just makes it really, really useful, showing you a list of all the modules. You can go into any particular module and then have all of those options to read codes in a particular module. And then, I may not support it on this vehicle, but it's very cool to be able to have that control level over it. So first scanner I've ever had that does the system topology list, but man, that is cool. Diagnostic plan, no codes, so no plan. Clear codes, which I don't need to do. Compare results, we don't have any other results. If I hit report, it'll generate a PDF file report with all the info of the vehicle. You don't need to put in any customer info. And these launch reports, I have other launch scanners that do this and generate all these codes. It's super cool. Really nice. We'll save a copy of it. Okay. So we can also, we have topology, which is the graph. We can hit system list and see all the modules here in a list view. We can look at special functions. So this will show different functions that this vehicle supports, which again, I don't know that I can do without the security gateway login, but you can see oil light reset, steering angle, throttle sensor, tire pressure, injector coding, all sorts of cool stuff, which I don't need to do here, but very nice to know I can do it through this. And advanced driver assistance system calibration. I don't think I'm going to have any access to this. Like, I think that's the radar. That's for, like, even if you have access to it, it's nothing I'm going to mess with. But I think the vehicle timed out and turned off, so I just had to turn the key back on. We'll see if it'll reconnect. May have to restart the app. But that's stuff like your radar for adaptive cruise control and stuff. Yeah. Okay. Doesn't support. So that's what happens when we go into this through the local diagnosis. We get that topology. We can go select things individually. Very, very useful when you know what you want to look at. Now we'll use intelligent diagnose and go back and rescan. Okay, checked all the units again. Oh, let me make sure I'm explaining this correctly. Exit. Okay, there we go. Get out of that. Okay, back to intelligent diagnose. So we're in quick access, which lets us view all of those things. If we hit diagnostic, we're going to start a new session. And this should auto-detect everything. And we're going to end up at the same menu. So the intelligent diagnose will always take you back to the topology menu and let you select all your supported modules from that screen. And like I said, the local diagnose screen is what lets you select everything manually. So making sure I'm explaining this correctly. But like I said, I don't know if we'll wait for this whole startup, because when you go through and communicate, my other vehicles, it's always been quicker. I have to assume this is because of the security gateway module on this, that it takes a while to negotiate with this and get logged in so you can view everything. But hopefully you can see how it works. We're not going to go through the whole thing again. So very powerful software, does everything you need it to. Tons of cool features, tons of add-ons with the other modules that you can use this with. Killer tablet. You have the J2534 programming feature with the SmartLink module. I mean, this is the best scanner I have ever used. It is very, very impressive. It's beyond, features that I typically need as a home mechanic, but man, this is cool. So I'd highly recommend it. I'm super impressed, and I hope you like checking this out and seeing what all the X431 Pro 3S Plus Elite can do. So thanks for watching. Hope you like it. See ya.